What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock, what you should be looking after for the future. I'm also going to break down why NIO is showing a lot more strength in the overall market and why this thing still has a lot of potential to continue pushing, in my opinion. Now, before I break anything down, before I get into any more details, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner, take none of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed up to 20 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And the best part is any could be a free NIO share. You'll also have the chance to win $60,000. So please check it out before they run out. The offer ends in just 9 days. Now, with that out of the way, guys, let's get on with the video. NIO is doing very well so far. And why do I say that? Well, the whole market had a sell-off. SPY is down 2%, AMC is down 8%, Tesla's down, I think, like 7%. The market's selling off. And NIO is only down 2%. So NIO is showing some really nice relative strength right now. We also had a very big push in the beginning, like I predicted, a big push to about 14. My prediction was a big push into open, followed by a bit of a bleed as the day goes on. However, I thought NIO could be down 3 or 4%. Excuse me, sorry about that. 3 or 4% or a little bit more than that. I was thinking NIO would have a bit of a drop. And instead, we actually did drop, and not as bad, and we are showing some nice strength. Now, in the markets right now, there's still a lot of fear, especially going on with some fears about what the Fed is going to end up doing. Some people are afraid that the Fed may be even more hawkish than anticipated. Some people are also talking about how hard things are going to become in the future because of the fact that we are seeing some more red flags out there in the labor market. We're seeing some big strengths out there. Then in China, we have something else that's very big, and that's the fact that in China, we're seeing a lot of businesses like Apple going through some very hard times, having to find different countries to do business in. We're also seeing production cuts potentially happening for Tesla, but they're not necessarily confirmed. But the media has been treating them as if they are confirmed. So I'm still going to wait on that. But it is worth noting that there are some hardships, and it's really affecting the entire world, especially because of the lockdowns and strict policies, and it's affecting businesses. Now, as for NIO, we're showing some nice relative strength. It's getting stronger as the day goes on. NIO is starting to catch up with the overall valuation of SPY in a way. They're slowly catching up to one another. And we're also seeing lots of buying pressure. We saw lots of buyers in the 13s. People want to push the thing up. It did end up selling off at the overall market, but NIO tends to be much stronger. NIO is also green 55% of the time on Tuesdays. That's another very, very good sign. And finally, I'm seeing that right here, the overall short interest is starting to still continue to downtrend. So a very, very good sign. It may push up a little bit for today, but for tomorrow and the days after, I do believe the downtrend will be respected, helping NIO push up. Volume 87 million. Lots of buyers are coming in. People are starting to FOMO in. They're liking the stock. I do expect the short volume to actually push up a little bit for today because we did see more shorting, we did see more selling happening overall in the whole market. But overall, I believe it's going to still come down eventually, and the downtrend will be respected. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is right now for NIO, looking at the overall options chain. I am noticing that right here we have actually a pretty decent looking chain. Right now, the put to call ratio is still relatively low. So the majority of people are actually still loaded up on calls on NIO. We are seeing lots and lots of call buying, which is, in my opinion, it's a sign that many people do expect this thing to start pushing up. Now today, NIO is still down about only 2%, which is pretty good. It's holding up very well compared to the markets. And where this thing goes is going to depend heavily on what we end up seeing in the market performance. Now, so far, NIO is still outperforming SPY, and in my opinion, SPY is not necessarily dead. I drew out this like rising wedge-like pattern. We can even talk about the fact that it's been holding this so far so well, so it's very likely we see this thing bounce and hold these levels. But I do believe SPY is going to bounce in the future within the next couple of days, and if it doesn't do that, then that's going to be the biggest red flag for NIO. SPY comes down, starts breaking below 397, comes down to like 398, 397, 396, and below that, not going to be a good sign, right? But we're still in this channel, so we could actually hold these levels. Now, I see another bullish sign for the EV sector, and that's because of Tesla. If you look at the setup, I know this is kind of messy. I apologize for that. In fact, let me actually just close these. All right. What do you guys notice right off the bat? Pretty simple to actually see right here. This overall trend is actually resembling, in my opinion, a very, very nice looking inverse head and shoulders. And if you look right here, we had this big drop. We had the left shoulder right here. We got a pop off of it to almost 200. Big drop forming the head. And then we pushed up a little bit, continued to push up, and then we come down, we're almost forming the right shoulder right over here. Now, you could try to argue that, oh, we already formed it here, but technically, I mean, you could argue that, but to me personally, it doesn't look like we got the clean break all the way back up to this like 200 plus area. In my opinion, what I think Tesla's going to do is it's going to come down to like 177 or so, curl, and then get a big bounce and slowly start to push up over the next couple of weeks. And this thing's going to likely continue to push up. So if that's the case, the EV sector will likely follow it. Now, I don't think it's going to be perfect because of what's happening in China, but it is very likely the setup does continue and we start to see some very nice price action. This could also play a big role in NIO pushing up. The QQQ is actually kind of oversold in a way. I do expect the QQQ to get a nice bounce. So if you look at the QQQ, it still is in this upwards channel. It's not necessarily bearish at this point or like net bearish just yet. If you draw it out like this, clean uptrend is still being respected. So it's not necessarily dead. It has a little bit more downside to go though. So I do believe the market might come down a little bit more tomorrow, maybe trade sideways, and then it should get a nice bounce and start slowly curling to this like 290 level followed by 293. Now, unless this thing breaks below this like 285-ish level, unless it breaks below that, we could see NIO and the whole market basically take a big hit, but it's not confirmed yet, which is why the bull thesis is still existent. So for that reason, on NIO, as of right now, NIO looks very strong. It's not necessarily respecting a channel, but it still looks pretty strong. And I say that because we got a big push to 14 bucks. We cooled off as the day went on, and we're actually showing lots of relative strength. And NIO is kind of tight as well, so I do expect a big move tomorrow into open, hopefully another big move to the upside. Now, I want to note something. When you look at NIO, all right, you will notice that NIO is getting tighter. It's been respecting an uptrend. But if NIO were to come down, hypothetically, some news comes out, what you have to watch is this $12 level. We need to see NIO hold that. If we break below that, we have potential to come all the way down to 10.5 to fill the gap. As of right now, NIO is holding it very well. Now, what I think is going to happen tomorrow is basically a repeat of today, a pretty boring day. And I think Wednesday is going to become a lot better. I predict tomorrow, NIO's going to get another big pop. It's going to push to 14.5 or something. Maybe it's going to go for the gap fill area. I mean, the gap is a little bit high up there in like the mid to high 14. So I don't know if NIO is going to fill the gap yet. But what I am trying to say is we could see NIO get a big push into open. Hold on, my chart just got messed up. Sorry about that. NIO could get a big push into open, hit 14 again, maybe 14.4, get a huge rejection as the day goes on, slowly start to bleed, but I think it's going to basically try to hold $13 tomorrow. I think we're most likely going to hold it. And I think we're going to get a somewhat green close because, like I said before, this thing is showing more strength in the overall market. But the later days, over the next few weeks, I mentioned this previously, I could see NIO slowly start stepping its way up to above the 14s and start holding it a lot better and showing more strength than before. So I'm still more bullish on NIO. It's showing lots of strength. And to me, it looks really, really nice. The last thing you could actually note is we don't have like a head and shoulders or any kind of formation like that. It's just slowly stepping its way up and continuing to make those new highs and new higher lows. So overall, like I said, it looks more bullish than bearish, and that's essentially what I have for this video. Tomorrow, I expect a big pop into open, followed by maybe a bit of a sell-off as the day goes on, but I am anticipating a somewhat green day for NIO. But anyways, guys, that's essentially what I have for this video. I can't always account for the news, so I can't make any like 100% promises, but I will say one thing, and that's the fact that NIO looks strong, and I want to see a nice continuation. Thank you all for listening. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon because the long-term future is still incredibly bright, and peace out.